and welcome to episode 2 of CinemaScoop. I'm Amy.
I'm Vicky.
And I'm Dan.
And this week we're going to be talking about Wonder Woman. But before we dig into that, we're going to have a quick whip round of some little tidbits of movie news this week.
Things that were exciting to us.
Things that were exciting to us. Do you want to start, Dan? I know you're very excited about your news.
I am. I'm very excited about my news. So, this week we had the official title for Jurassic World, which is called Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
That is an awesome name.
Dan disagrees.
Really?
Well, yeah. I think this is going to be like the Jurassic World situation where it's going to take me a while to get used to the name. Saying Jurassic World from Jurassic Park felt a bit odd. It's growing on me a bit, but I still think it would have been better calling it Jurassic World: The Fallen Kingdom. Fallen Kingdom sounds a bit disjointed, but I'm open. I'm interested in what it means.
Yeah.
Which is what they mean by Fallen Kingdom, whether they're talking about mankind falling or whether it's the fall of the parks.
I like it. I like the image it brings up when you say it, Fallen Kingdom, and you think about the destroyed park and everything like that. And
the logo in that regard is really cool because it's all cracked. It's like the Lost World logo.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is slight spoilers, so if you don't want to know anything about the movie, this is all just rumours at this point. But
like 30 seconds now or something.
There's a great website called Real Tours Hawaii, which do a bunch of Jurassic World news. They have images. They take videos and stuff from the set. And I'm very excited, so I'm talking so fast.
I know.
And there's been some pictures of the original Ford Explorer from the first Jurassic Park film. And the director tweeted a picture just before they announced the name of the film, which was the beaten up Ford Explorer from the original film number 4. And then somebody snapped a picture of it on the back of a truck on the way to the set. So I'm hoping we get to do a bit more of that exploring of the old park, which I'm really excited about.
Which hopefully Ian Malcolm will have something to do with.
Apparently.
Hopefully we'll get a bit more
Jeff Goldblum.
Because
well, I know that it's really cool. So the director, the writer, Colin Trevorrow, said that he had phone calls with Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum was calling him up saying, I want to try this line, and he would do the line over the phone, and he ended up with about an hour's worth of phone call with Jeff Goldblum, just talking through his lines on the phone.
So there's not quite improv, but some definite input.
Yeah,
there.
which is it's
cool.
amazing. And I just saw tonight, sci-fi.com tease, and also one of the guys from a company called Chronicle Collectible, who I wanted to buy that T-Rex bust from.
Oh yeah,
they make really awesome, expensive.
You mean the one that was like hundreds and hundreds of pounds?
Yeah, the T-Rex breakout. And they make really sort of high end resin statues from films, and because they have a quite close working relationship with Universal, they said that they know that Universal are gearing up to do some marketing with some trailers, and as far as they know, there's going to be the first trailer. It's going to be teased at Comic-Con next month. Whether that's a teaser or just something, but it sounds like some kind of footage is coming.
Do we know dates for Comic-Con yet? Was it 20-something? 21st?
Maybe. But either way,
I'm excited. There's some good news coming out of that.
I try not to get too excited because I know that it's kind of early
probably
to get marketing stuff, and it's also just a rumour. But here's hoping.
Yeah.
So big title reveal. Fallen Kingdom. Looking forward to hearing some more.
Brilliant.
And I'm sure you guys will all hear more as we go on because I will not stop talking about this.
Oh, you will.
Vicky. Okay. My news is about the Han Solo movie. So, as some people may know, as they're doing the new trilogy, they're also doing a new solo film each year with it. So we had Rogue One, which I thought was fantastic. The next film slated is the Han Solo movie about his younger days. And then the third movie hasn't been announced yet, so we don't officially know what that's going to be about. There are rumours going around, but that's for another time.
Obi-Wan.
Oh my god, I'm Mum and Ewan McGregor would be amazing.
Oh, that would
be. The only good thing about the original, like the prequels. Is,
It's the only good thing.
It's the only good thing I remember. Let's put it that way.
The only good thing in Amy's books.
Darth Maul. Anybody?
Was he played by Ewan McGregor?
He looks
yes,
like
he was.
Ewan
Ewan McGregor also played Jar Jar Binks and the Emperor. And
actually, do you know what? I know there's a lot of hate for Jar Jar Binks. I don't hate him that much. I actually think he's quite funny. But, hate me if you will. But
we will.
That's true.
We will hate you massively.
So anyway, the Han Solo movie is set to come out in cinemas on the 25th of May 2018. So it's not very long to go now.
Less than a year.
Less than a year, that's very good. It's untitled for now, but it was kind of teased. Maybe there's a name for it. Someone took a picture of a cast shirt and it had like the Han Solo movie and it just said Solo. Mm-hmm. So it could be called that. I think it would be quite cool if it was just called Solo.
I think that's cool.
It's a cool name. I like it.
Everyone would know it's about.
Yeah.
It's quite good. So starring people like Donald Glover, Woody Harrelson, and Emilia Clarke, who is from Game of Thrones.
And the guy playing Han Solo
is...
I don't remember his name.
He's got
his name down. I wrote down 3 weeks' names because I didn't want to just list out.
It's interesting because he's kind of central. The latest news is kind of central to all of this.
Interesting.
Yep.
Of course, yeah, because...
Yeah.
All right.
So it's set to be directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller. They've done about 75% of the movie and got most of it directed. It's a lot of principal photography. It's all done. There's only like 3 weeks left to shoot of it and then it's on to reshoots. But the news that came out this week is that they've been fired from directing it. The reasons were given was the good old creative differences, which is kind of like a really cheesy breakup line. Like, it's not me, it's not you, it's me.
And they did clarify. This. We know that that's an overused statement, but this is creative differences.
Wait, did they consciously uncouple? Because that would be amazing.
Yeah. So, but a lot of other information coming out is that they've had big fights over basically the tone of the film. Apparently they wanted the guy who was playing Han Solo, have you got his name there?
I think it's pronounced Alden Ehrenreich.
Yep.
Ehrenreich.
Yeah. So I think they wanted him to do a lot of improvising as Han Solo, and apparently it's not really worked for the tone that they wanted.
Did you say he compared it to Ace Ventura in how over the top sort of slapstick they wanted it to be,
right? Which is quite an extreme comparison.
Because he was being made to do this, and he started to get quite concerned that this is really off tone.
Yeah.
So apparently he went to one of the producers who went to Kathleen Kennedy, and as a result, she started looking over the current edit of the film and was like, "This is not what we want."
No, but the thing is quite unprecedented that. When you get 75% of the way through a movie to fire the directors, it's got to be a big deal. And especially since, obviously, Disney have Star Wars now. They're bringing out a lot of Star Wars things. I don't want to say that they're precious over it, but they want to bring out good films.
This is Disney in general.
Yeah. They want to have good quality films. They don't want to just churn out everything just because it's already... They can afford to basically scrap this whole movie at this stage and start again. They can afford it.
Yeah, if they had to.
If they had to. So... They are taking it at this point, and they're just going to get a new director and take it in the direction they want, and they can afford to do that.
And she did say that they're sticking with their release date for next year.
We're not
prepared to budge on it.
No.
I don't know if they could probably
change it at any time. Yeah. They're saying that now, but that doesn't necessarily mean it will stay that way.
Again, this has only just happened this week. They may want to plan towards it. May not happen. I think they will let us know, obviously, as soon as they know if the release date's going to change. But the director they've got in to replace Lord and Miller is
Ron Howard.
Which is...
It's an awesome choice.
I'm right. Yeah, this is the guy from Happy Days.
Yes.
And Arrested Development.
Yep.
Yes. Okay.
Well,
what's he directed?
I have no idea.
He has directed quite a few films. The two that come into my mind directly is The Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons, which weren't terrible films. I really enjoyed them.
They didn't do amazingly well, but...
No, but... That story-wise, I think direction-wise, they were both done really well. If you've read the books and then seen the film, they come off really well against each other. He has done a lot of other things as well, but those are the two that come to my mind straight away.
I have to say, I think that these two, I don't remember their names, but the two directors who did it before, they must have really dug their heels in. Because otherwise, surely, you just would have, it would have come down from on high, this is not what we wanted, re-edit it the way we want it.
So
and they could have just changed the way it was planned.
No, I'm reading the writers, not directors. Sorry.
No.
They didn't have to. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't think that they would fire them. They would just
tell them to change it.
Yeah, force them to change it
and
to how they want it.
To change it and do a Han Solo movie.
Yeah.
It's interesting that IMDb are listing the director as Ron Howard
already. Yeah, I looked at it.
I wonder if this is going to be like a co-directed credit, or whether it's just going to be directed by. I'll be interested if they do directed by. I need to learn their names, but the other two who did
Lord and Miller.
Yeah, or whether it's going to be directed by Ron Howard. I think that will sort of showcase
how bad it was,
how tumultuous this relationship became.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
so the filming will resume on July 10th. So they've obviously taken a little break to take hold of all this change. So they've got about 3 weeks of principal photography left to shoot, and then they said they're on to about 5 weeks of reshoots for things. So maybe they'll take that on some more to reshoot some more to change the tone of the film, but we'll see.
I did read this morning that they said that the reshoots were planned before the director change.
Oh yeah, they usually do reshoots anyway.
Absolutely.
In fact, I don't think there's any film that doesn't do reshoots.
Rogue One was notorious for its reshoots. There's a whole to-do about it.
Oh, was there? Okay.
Yeah.
I believe you.
Apparently,
so that's what's slated in normal movie making, is to do another 3 weeks of principal photography and then 5 weeks of reshoots. Whether they need to extend that to change the tone of the film and carry on with a new director, we'll see. It's basically only just happened. This is all we know about it right now. I'm sure they'll keep us informed, and hopefully we can still stick with the 25th of May release date, because I think
it's a shame to extend it. What's interesting about this movie is this is one of those films that's always going to divide people.
Yeah.
People were, I think, naturally hesitant when they said they were doing Rogue One. They were doing these spin-off films.
Yeah.
Especially because we didn't really know what Rogue One was going to be. It turned out to be amazing, but it didn't seem like any other Star Wars movie ever.
The thing that Rogue One is doing, that this one has got more of a challenge to tackle, is though they're both prequels, you're recasting a really iconic character.
Yeah.
You've got to get that performance right. And from what I've read, the producers and Kathleen Kennedy are really happy with the way he does his character.
Yeah.
Apparently it's really good, but there's always going to be a bit of nervousness because it's Han Solo. He's so iconic.
If he doesn't seem like
so
Han Solo, then everyone's going to notice.
Absolutely. So with all this stuff about the director's change, I think it's making people a bit apprehensive.
It's given me a bit more confidence in it, because it shows that they really care about how it turns out.
That's true. There is that to it.
Yeah, and as you said, Disney are really precious.
Yeah.
Now I've worked. The company that I work for, we deal with Disney, and they are so tough to get around their IP restrictions, and they hold all their cards really close to their chest. So I've got faith in Disney.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
If they finish this film, they've already done 3. They've already done a trilogy in a sense.
Yeah.
With episode 8 coming out next year. So that's 4 films in 2.5 years?
Yeah. I think they're doing brilliantly with these films. Like episode 7 was fantastic. Rogue One was amazing. I've got high hopes. But I've got it doesn't mean that Rogue One wasn't good.
I feel like aside from the robot character whose name I forget, Rogue One had less
K2SO.
Yeah.
K2SO in Rogue One.
K2SO. I had KTSO and I was like, that's a really weird name for a robot.
You need to pay attention more. Can't believe you dissed Katie like that. We love
robot,
you, Katie.
anyway. He was hilarious, but there wasn't as many light moments in Rogue One, which I liked about episode 7. It was more lighthearted.
Yeah. But just going from those 2 films, you can see that they're doing really well. So I have confidence in the rest of these movies. And I'm hoping that it lives up to them and they carry on being fantastic. I really do.
I want lots of good movies to watch. They wouldn't have made this change.
I think it'll all come down to that first trailer to see just what people think of the look of the film.
The first trailer for episode 8, it was just fantastic.
Yeah, true. Very true. Right. Wow.
So high hopes. Let's live up to them. Come on, Disney.
Speaking of trailers, moving on to my news, which is going to be brief. I promise not to go on too much. But this week we got the Red Band trailer for American Assassin, which I am so excited about, which Dan loves, don't you?
Why are you excited about that, Amy? Do tell us more.
I really don't know. I mean,
no reason. It's just...
It's absolutely nothing to do with the lead actor.
You've got the hots for Kiefer Sutherland, haven't you?
Kiefer Sutherland's not in it.
No, it's not Kiefer Sutherland.
Michael Keaton.
It's Michael Keaton. I get those so confused.
But no, it is not Michael Keaton. Thank you very much. No, obviously it's Dylan O'Brien, but I won't gush too much about how amazing he is in the trailer, but he was. But the
barely says anything.
He doesn't have to say anything. Do you know how many gifs are going around already just from him saying, "Yes, sir"?
From
like 1,000.
From crazy Dylan O'Brien fans. Loved the Dylan O'Brien fans, but crazy bunch of people.
Not the ones that I
think when you get that deep into fandom,
crazy.
Any group of people can be crazy.
This is true.
I mean, there are crazy ones. I'm not saying there aren't. When people start talking about physically doing things to a person who they've never met, that's crossing a line. Yeah. But,
The neck constriction.
Very interesting. No, there are plenty of fairly normal people who just happen to be fans of his work, and
that sounds like a fan talking to me.
This is not difficult to look at. Doesn't hurt. Anyway, the point being that we got to see the Red Band trailer this week. So we had a teaser last month, I think it was, which was actually quite long, about 2.5 minutes. But this was the first full-length trailer. And
you forgot it was coming out.
You waited
for a week.
On my way home.
And then you forgot. and then I took the piss by telling her, have you seen trailer 3? And she freaked out trying to Google it.
It's not funny. I was so worried.
I
missed something.
You're such a cool husband. Seriously.
He's really mean.
In the nicest possible way.
Abuse.
Please don't say abuse. That sounds awful.
It's just emotional.
It's Dylan O'Brien abuse.
Yeah. He abuses me with Dylan O'Brien. Wait, no, that sounds wrong.
So just pick him up and beat you with
I would not object to that.
You wish.
Regardless,
moving on.
The point being that the Red Band trailer is very graphic. There's a lot of blood. The guy's arm gets broken backwards, which is like physically impossible.
Nice.
But it looks really action packed. There's a lot of really good stuff in there. You get a little bit more about the actual plot, which we didn't know. And Taylor Kitsch, we knew he was going to be in it, but because it's based on a book, but the character that Taylor Kitsch is playing is not in the book, so no one really knew who he was going to be playing, what was happening. And based on this trailer, we can now tell that he's going to be he was Dylan O'Brien, and then he went rogue. So they got Dylan O'Brien's character to come in and sort of train to take over.
So Taylor Kitsch is playing Dylan O'Brien?
No, like Dylan O'Brien's the assassin, and Michael Keaton training him, right? And so originally, Michael Keaton had trained Taylor Kitsch's character, who's only known as Ghost in the trailer, and he has now gone rogue and is using what he knows against them, essentially. So we know a little bit more about what he's going to be doing in the film, and it is seeming like it's veered off from the book, but they kept the characterization similar, which is the important thing.
I mean, to be fair, it does look like a good movie. I take the piss out of it because I know you only want to see it for that one reason, but actually, in fairness to the film,
I've read the book,
and
it is a really good book. I'm actually reading the rest of the series now because it's based on a whole series of books, same character, and it looks like a really good movie, regardless of Dylan O'Brien being in it. It does look like a good movie,
and they've got that whole shootout on the beach scene, which is actually, even though it's just read, it's kind of hard to watch given the stuff that happened in real life. It's
exactly.
I think it's going to be quite an emotionally traumatizing film. Maybe
I agree, but in a good way, I think. It looks amazing.
So when does that film come out?
September 15th, I believe.
Brilliant.
So
don't add I believe like
no.
Mike hasn't got it marked in the diary with love hearts all around.
I knew there was an expense on our debit card for 16 tickets.
Do you know what I realised this week, actually? I was on Twitter and mentioned it to someone because I just realised I've never actually seen a Dylan O'Brien movie in theatres. I've only ever seen it after it came out. I expect it to be. I genuinely do. That would be interesting. But so that's my little news.
Well, I heard something today, and this is for people living in the UK, probably more aware of this than people outside the UK. But in Kent, they've got plans in motion to build a theme park, Paramount Studios theme park called Paramount London. As far as we know, the latest news is that they're still in developments to secure all the funding, and it looks like everything is scheduled as planned. And they have just recently announced, shockingly, that Paramount have pulled out completely.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, £3.2 billion of funding gone for this park. I don't know if they're providing all the funding, but they've split for whatever reason. So at the moment, what they're saying is they're still planning to go ahead as planned to secure as much funding as they can. I don't know where they get this money from, but at the moment, it sounds a bit up in the air.
They need a film studio, though.
Potentially, though, and this is what I was thinking. As much as this sucks, because I'm really looking forward to this park, and hopefully they can find the money to do this, because we need something big.
But we love it.
Now, my first thought was they're going to need some kind of company, and then I'm thinking maybe Disney would save them. But the problem with Disney is they've got
close to Paris.
Paris has been a struggling part for a while,
and it's so near,
and it's too close. My other thought, and this is what I'm really hoping, is that Universal Because Universal have got
amazing.
parks in America, obviously, and they've got some in Tokyo. I can't remember some of the other parts, but I don't think there's anything in Europe.
They don't have
that would
anywhere
be
near as many, and they
amazing.
definitely don't have Europe.
If they were to make this Universal, Universal Kent or maybe Universal London would make more sense.
They would call it Universal London or Universal UK.
This could be an incredible opportunity for people that have to currently go to America
Yeah.
to go to Universal Studios to have licenses like Harry Potter and Jurassic Park and
They would. I mean, if they could do it, do Harry Potter World here. I mean, that would be so popular. People would fly from America to do Harry Potter World in the UK.
Could you imagine if they combined the studio tour in Leavesden with the Harry Potter World and Universal and combined it all into one thing?
I can't, but only because it'd be amazing.
It'd be amazing.
But yeah, that would be amazing.
That's just so I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen now, but I'm intrigued.
Disappointed and slightly excited.
If Universal announced that they were doing a park in 20 miles up the road from us, I'd never leave.
Just across the river.
I may quit my job to go work there. If I could be a ride assistant on the Jurassic Park ride.
Yeah. Oh, I'd be a character. I've done that before.
Yep.
Universal does have some characters. You could dress up as a Woody Woodpecker.
You could be a minion.
I could be a minion. I could be Vicky's minion. Yeah.
Vicky does not look confused, people.
She does not.
So yeah,
Get done with minions.
I was quite surprised by that announcement, but
all right.
Okay, shall we move on to Wonder Woman? We all saw it this week. I actually saw it a couple of weeks ago when it first came out because I had a friend who grew up watching Wonder Woman. She absolutely loved it. She had like all the merchandise when she was a little girl, and even when she grew up, she had like Converse trainers, Wonder Woman on, and everything. So she was really excited about this film coming out. Always, when it comes out, we're going to see it. When it comes out, we're going to see it. And so I texted her and said, "Oh, it comes out next week. Do you want to go see it?" Oh, I forgot they were making a movie. So you know,
lifelong fandom there.
Oh dear.
So
people just don't follow it like we do. We know.
But anyway, we went to go see it the weekend it came out. I absolutely loved it. I mean, I didn't grow up with it. I didn't ever watch the TV show or the cartoons. Never really read the comics either, but I kind of understood what Wonder Woman was. I'd seen her in the little bit that she had in Batman vs Superman, and in my opinion, she was the best part of that film. Whatever your opinions are of Batman vs Superman, that's fine, but that was my opinion for that. And I came out of the film absolutely in love with this character. And yeah, that was just my opinion. Absolutely in love with the character. The film was so well made. And it made me have a bit of hope for the DC universe.
Yeah.
Yes. It has rekindled.
I think it's kind of hard to ignore the buzz that this film is getting. I mean, it's getting rave reviews everywhere that you look. And I understand that reviews are sort of hit and miss.
Yeah,
but
when it's this universally like good publicity,
and for a DC film, no less,
especially because people were already like predisposed to be like judging it harshly.
Yeah.
But literally, I've heard from everyone that I know someone that's seen it that loved it.
Yeah,
if they haven't seen it themselves.
I know a few people who were unenthused by it, which is fine. It's never going to appeal to absolutely every single person. You're not going to have a film that's like that. But the general...
Sorry, distracted by a whimpering dog there. Yeah. Carry on, Vicky.
But the general tone, the reaction of this movie is that it was
overwhelmingly good.
Yeah, it was. I saw it. I saw it last night, and I'm somebody that is naturally opposed to DC. I don't mind the Dark Knight films. I think they're pretty good films. Apart from that, there's nothing I really love. I've never rewatched a single DC film.
I think I don't really buy into this whole DC versus Marvel thing. I am a fan of superhero films. They are an interesting genre to me. It doesn't matter who made it. Mm-hmm. If it's a superhero film, I'm going to want to go see it. But the problem I've had with the DC universe is that they've not had a film which specifically applies to me. So far, the DC universe that they've brought out, which is the extended universe, which is all joined together, is Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, Suicide Squad, and now Wonder Woman. So the first three all deal with characters I'm not very interested in. Superman has never really appealed to me. There's so much Superman. There's so many movies of him. There was TV shows. There was Smallville. So much to do with Superman, and I just don't ever need to see any more of him. Same with Batman. There are so many movies and so many films and TV shows and everything to do with Batman, and the characters never appeal to me.
On that note, I agree. I just want to say with Batman, he's interestingly, I think, one of the most popular.
Yeah.
So many people say that Batman is their favourite character.
Even though he's not actually a superhero.
With that aside, I've never understood the appeal of Batman. I think that I don't think he's particularly charismatic. I think it's also dark and gritty, and I get that people like that, but to me, there's nothing fun about Bruce Wayne.
The recent incarnations of him are like that. If you look back to the 90s cartoon version of him, he is a lot more fun. And the 1996 movies and the George Clooney
which
version,
I love, by the way.
Do not go there.
love the original movies.
And 60s.
Those ones I think are, and they're campy and they're funny. There's nothing, like, you couldn't make an argument for them being high art by any means. You know, Mr. Freeze is not going to win any awards.
Eyes to meet you.
Exactly.
Come on, that's Oscar worthy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love it.
But they were good fun. They were enjoyable films, and you know, Danny DeVito's the Penguin will never not be funny.
But 1960s Batman with Adam West, may he rest in peace, because he just very recently passed away.
Dude, were you going to say Adam West, may he rest in peace?
Dude, stop making jokes about dead people.
Seriously. So,
dark humour, man.
Sorry, that tickled me.
You've got to leave that in. It's too funny.
Right.
Adam West.
So the 1960s versions with Adam West, who has recently passed away, they were very campy.
Yeah.
And seriously.
But in a good way. That was like the pow, bam.
Yeah, but they were so fun. And that's what, like, the Lego Batman version, I really enjoyed that, because that kind of took that kind of humour, but with the dark, brooding Batman that we've been given the last few years.
Yeah.
Because until we got the Christopher Nolan films, he wasn't that dark and brooding. But now
they gave him a much darker backstory.
I really wish that they would cast Will Arnett to play Batman.
That would be fantastic.
That would be so good. I mean, after that amazing Netflix live he did.
Yeah.
With the toaster and
oh my god, he's so funny.
We
watched the whole thing.
We did.
That is sad.
It was great.
We have far too much time on our hands, clearly, and I don't quite know how that's possible with 2 children, but there you go.
But anyway, the films that the DC have been released in the last few years have been mostly to do with Batman or Superman, and there's not a lot of variety. If you look what Marvel's churning out, they've got so many different superheroes that in the what's the new one they're bringing out? The Infinity War. They've got about 32 superheroes coming in, and they are all people who have been in some way established. Yeah. They're not just people who are being introduced into this film. So you've got, they may not be the main characters, but they would have had supporting roles in any of the films, and that's 32. You're going to find a character in there.
This must be one of the most expensive movies ever made.
Awesome.
Most likely.
Wow, I can't imagine the kind of budget this thing's got.
But you've got someone to identify with there. No matter who you are, there's something there for you.
Yeah. So DC recently have only been bringing out those kind of films. But then in the TV verse, they've got Arrow, they've got The Flash.
Awesome. And
they've got Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow. And that brings out a whole different range of characters. They've even got Gotham, which again is Batman. I've not really watched that.
But it's a very different version of Batman. I have watched that.
And
Batman's not even the main character.
No, but it's still that kind of era.
Yeah.
What's something that the TV series and Marvel have in common is that they're humorous.
Yeah.
They have a lot of humour. And the problem with the Batman versus Superman films and the Man of Steel, they're not that funny. Which is getting back to the point we're talking about, which is why I love Wonder Woman. Because that
it does have that.
Especially with that whole fish out of water. Anytime they do a fish out of water scene where there's some character in a place that doesn't belong, always hysterical.
They had 2 of those in Wonder Woman. So you have the first half of the film where it's Chris Pine. I apologise if I ever call him Chris Pratt. It's just going to come off my tongue at some point.
Have you seen the thing where he did, where he hosted SNL and he sings a song about not being this Chris and that Chris?
Yeah, I love that. It's going to come off my tongue at some point for some reason. If I subconsciously do it, I do apologise. But Chris Pine, he lands in Themyscira and he's a fish out of water there because there's this whole island full of Amazonians and he doesn't know what to do there.
Just want to kill him.
Yep. And then, like, for the next 3/4 of the movie...
Spoilers. Are we doing spoilers?
Well, the whole thing is a spoiler thing, really.
But there's a
Well,
reason
we
to
call
say
spoilers.
it, because if
Okay.
people don't realise, we're going to piss them off.
Well, we'll call spoilers now.
Okay.
We've given
Okay.
our basic opinion
Yep.
of the film. Now we have
Okay.
to get into the specifics now.
So let's do spoilers then,
Okay.
in details.
So for the next 3/4 of the film, it's Diana going in to fight World War One, and she's a fish out of water because she is going from this paradise island where it's all women, and she is basically princess. She can do whatever she wants, to this new world that she has no understanding of. And all these men are basically trying to tell her no because she's a woman, and that is my favourite part of the film.
Oh, when she
regardless
tells
of
off that
everything else.
general.
Just in general, the entire film is everyone going, "You can't do this," and she's just going, "Fuck
Yes,
off,
I
I do what
can."
I want."
When she's in the briefing room, they're all stopping up. There's a woman here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, and
amazing.
it's so real. That is definitely how they would have
But
reacted.
what's
The fact
amazing-
that he keeps referring to her as his secretary.
Yeah.
I just love the way
Very
that she
lucid.
reacts as though, why is that strange?
Because
that
she's
there's-
been raised
Yeah.
in a completely
But it does
female-dominated
highlight
population.
that issue as why is it strange? Just
Exactly.
because there's women around.
Exactly.
But no, I absolutely love this film. I feel like Gal Gadot played Wonder Woman so well. She's defiant, she's exuberant, and this is not a characterization we've had recently. Is that kind of, willingness to go into this role and give it everything.
Yeah.
And she is so powerful, and
What's she
It's
done
exciting.
before this film?
she's been in a few smaller films. She was in a film with about the neighbours, not Meet the
Meet the Fuckers?
No.
With the neighbours, they're both assassins, and
Oh, Joneses?
yeah, the Joneses.
It's either called the
Yeah.
Joneses or Keeping Up with the Joneses, something like that. Isn't
Yeah.
that Seth Rogen or
I think so.
something like that? I might be getting that totally wrong, but
Yeah.
it's something like that anyway.
Yeah.
I have a question about her actually.
Okay.
Because I haven't seen her in anything else. Does anyone know if that accent is natural? Is that
She's
her
Israeli.
accent?
She is.
But that is her natural
Yeah.
accent, right? Okay. I didn't know if she put any affectation on it.
Yeah.
It's
Actually,
very natural.
Speaking about
but
her
I just
accent,
wondered.
I thought the girl who played the younger version of her was really good.
Yeah.
She was.
really
yeah,
stood
she
out.
was very good. Yeah. She was. Yeah. She was very good.
And I think that's what I enjoyed is the fact that they opened with all the Amazonians and this world that they've created, but they don't ever go back to that.
No.
Which I'm quite surprised. I'd be interested to see if they do at some point because I'd like
They
to
make
know
another
more about
one
it.
about her. Yeah.
And I thought the characters in that were really, really interesting.
I loved the opening, the stylisation of the opening with all the narration that goes over it. I mean, obviously after the present day thing, because the entire movie is basically a flashback. You've got 2 minutes at the beginning, 2 minutes at the end, which is present day, and the rest of the film is her imagining her origin story, which is quite cool.
Yeah. It's an interesting way of doing it.
Yeah.
They set it up, and then so that means that from the way that it ended, then if they go on to make a second one, which presumably, given how well this one has done, they will, then they can bring it full circle, bring it right back up to the present day without having to set that up.
Yeah.
In a way, it was kind of reminiscent of Thor in that sort of new mythological world, but felt a lot more grounded in reality, despite the giant leaping and and lassos of truth aside.
But I feel she does have a lot of similarities with Thor, because obviously they're both they're both gods. They're both from this idyllic paradise place. He's got Asgard, which is like the Norse planet kind of thing. She's from Themyscira, which is this Amazonian dreamland of paradise, and it's fantastic. And then they're both suddenly thrust into the real world, and they both kind of bring in this naivety where they're so used to what's their own power in their own places that they kind of try to bring it into our world, and it doesn't work out well for them. And they're kind of brought down by their naivety a bit, and they have to overcome that.
Yeah,
and
I thought that when one of the most powerful things. In the sort of early part of the film was when they're fighting on the beach in, tell me the place name again. Themyscira. When the Germans come in with the guns, and Chris Pine's character, who is called Steve says,
Who, by the way, does an amazing German accent.
Yeah.
Who would have
yes,
thought?
right? That was really good, but we digress.
Yeah.
He says they've got guns, right?
Mm-hmm.
And of course they haven't, because they've never needed to have guns before. And it was just the fact that they went into this battle with their bows and arrows, and in the first 5 seconds, someone was shot, and it's like, oh, this is not the sort of battle that we're used to. We didn't know this was going to be a problem.
They had a really interesting dynamic with that, because, as you say, they're sort of running in with their swords, and they're very much about honour, which is, she says, where is your honour? And they're all about fighting honourably and things, and so the idea of guns to them is really alien. And yet when you've got that scene with them at No Man's Land, when she's arguing with Chris Pine's character, saying, "Why aren't we helping these people?" And he's saying it doesn't work that way. This is war. It's really interesting the way they explore that, in that she's got to learn what humanity is, and she doesn't understand why they're not fighting honourably.
And life isn't all about honour. You can't win with honour. You have to use tactics.
But also, it highlights the fact that because she goes into battle, she's basically like, no, fuck this, I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. It also shows that there's a lot that we have to learn about how we...
Sometimes you do have
how
to
we
be the
see
hero.
the world.
Yeah. And you do have to try and save everyone.
Yeah.
And I think you can really see how hard it hit her. When they get off the train and they're travelling to their boat and she's going over the bridge with all those injured soldiers and she's seeing what this war is doing to people and how it's affecting humanity. And
It's heavy.
You can see how much it affects her, and that is a real testament to Gal Gadot's acting. It's like she doesn't do a lot of over-emoting with her character, but you can just see in every single expression in her face what that character is feeling, and it really makes you connect with that character, because I was feeling, like, the first time I saw it, I was feeling everything she was feeling, and the second time, even knowing what was coming, it still brought out all those feelings in me.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do a second time around, to instantly connect with that character in the same way. Because you already know everything that's going to happen. You're not travelling through this new adventure with this character anymore. You already know how it's going to end. You already know all the plot points, all the twists and turns. And to make you feel everything new again is really fantastic. And I just think she did such a fantastic job. She has to play amazing. So many different emotions. She has to be like completely naive to begin with. She is so defiant. As I said before, she is exuberant when she's fighting. She is so powerful. Yeah. And then there are other times where she can also be funny.
But she's also naive as well in that regard. The way that they showed that scene at the beginning with rushing
into... that 12 times.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well, the way she rushes into... I haven't said it at all. So, the way she rushes into battle, and then what's the name of the woman that's training her? Did we find out her name?
Oh, her aunt is called Antiope.
When she jumps in front of her to take that bullet, it shows that she's so eager to fight, and it's the same throughout the movie. Even though it's heroic, she's so eager to run into battle.
I feel
which usually works out for her, but not always.
I feel like her naivety is the only thing that lets her down, because in that fight on the beach, she does go straight into battle, and she is straight away fighting. And it's only when she's looking around like what is happening that she gets distracted and she has a chance for the German soldier to shoot her. And going into the real world, that is there is nothing that she can't do. But her naivety does get her down.
Yeah. Distracts her.
Right. One thing I want to ask. Moana.
You mentioned it to me
Did you understand this? So
I know what you meant.
I was watching it last night and I'm thinking... There's shots of her when she sort of runs away after being told that she, once she's been discovered that she's been training.
Yeah.
And she sort of goes to the edge of the cliff and she's sort of looking out over the sea. And I'm hearing in my head how far I'll go from Moana. And then there's the scene when they're about to leave for London. And then she hugs her mother goodbye and she gets in the boat. And I'm like, this is straight up out of Moana. It's creepy.
I didn't notice that.
Did you not?
I probably wouldn't have if you hadn't mentioned it to me beforehand. But because you had, I was aware of it and I did notice. I was like, I see what you mean.
What's happening? This has gone from Wonder Woman to a live action Moana.
Very good.
I enjoyed it.
Okay, so we're all agreed Gal Gadot was amazing.
Was fantastic. Chris Pine was as well.
He was really good, as you say. His German accent was amazing. I was not prepared for that at all.
See, Chris Pine is this. I'm gonna.
Pine, you're doing it now. Should we just blend them together and make
Chris
one person?
Pine. This is going to harken back to last week's podcast. Chris Pine is the kind of comic relief that I wanted Jake Johnson to be, but comic relief when it's necessary in a character who's actually relevant.
Exactly. Or when he gets out of that. Well, pool, not a bath, but when he's naked, and that was
I enjoyed
very well done. Yes, there's nothing bad about that scene, but I thought it was really, really hilarious when it comes to the wide shot, when they don't normally show, where he's got his hands over himself, and it was just like the awkwardness.
When she says to him, "Are you a typical example?" He's like, "I'm above average."
Above average, yeah. And when she says, "What is that?" and he's like, "Well, oh, it's a wash."
Yeah. But that's the kind of humour they use in this film, and it does not feel forced. That's the kind of thing I didn't feel with Suicide Squad, Batman vs Superman, and Man of Steel. Any humour they had in it didn't feel right, and it felt kind of forced. And all the humour in this feels very natural.
Yeah.
Although I did realise that when that scene had taken place, the fact she was curious about him, and then when she was asking him to come and sleep by her on the boat, I was like, they're totally going to hook up, and I was right.
Oh, come on, yeah. Oh, actually, that's what I was going to ask you. Speaking of things, like predicting things, whether or not, there was something that I noticed the first time around, Vicky didn't notice, and she picked up on it the second time around, but she said she hadn't noticed the first time around.
Yeah.
When you watched it, did you realise from very early on that Diana was the was it God Killer?
Yeah.
I assumed.
She was the weapon.
I assumed, yeah.
I assumed
the fact that her mother was so hesitant, and as she kept saying, the more she finds out about who she is, the harder it's going to be, and the sooner he will find her.
Yeah. See, I twigged very early, like as soon as the young Diana asked to see the weapon, and she looked at her, I knew straight away. But you said that you didn't pick up on that till later.
No, I thought that she would be the person who would kill the god, but I still thought the sword brought into play. I didn't realise it was that much of a...
It was just a prop, essentially.
I knew that she would be the special one.
I think they made that fairly obvious.
But I didn't know about the whole sword coming into play and that she was Zeus's daughter, and I didn't realise there was another layer to it.
Yeah, which was really interesting. I'm glad that they put all that in, and it wasn't just like, oh, she happens to be the strongest of us or whatever.
So, what did you guys think of the supporting characters? So, Chris Pine's recruits, as it were.
I just want to say one more thing about Chris Pine.
Of course, one more thing. Is that it?
Yeah.
You sure?
Is that his acting in this was fantastic as well. I mean, I've seen him in a lot of things, and he's always been good, but he really sold it to me in this film with his character. Like, at the end, where he is sacrificing himself, I really felt him. There have been movies where people have sacrificed themselves, and I'm like, all right, then, bye. Thanks for that.
Were any of them as pretty as that, though?
Couple have been.
I'm just testing you.
It's a difficult one to answer.
But it's just the way he does it. I mean, he could have just been up in that plane, he could have been flying it, and then all of a sudden go, okay, this is my time to do it, shoot the thing, it explodes. But the fact that he takes a moment to take a breath, and it makes you so much more drawn into this character, it makes you feel a lot more with him, and it really does work.
Yeah, I also really liked the way they did him saying goodbye to her.
Yeah.
That you couldn't hear him.
No.
And then... I'm not sure when she had sort of flashed back to it, whether she was hearing it then or whether it was a case of like she was sort of remembering and trying to read what he was saying.
I think she was lip reading because from the explosion she couldn't hear. That's how I read it.
That's how I read it. I assumed that that's what they meant for it to be.
I'm surprised that they killed him off. And kept him dead. I thought, because this is a world of gods and all kinds. I thought at the end when they were in was it Trafalgar Square? It looked like it was Trafalgar Square.
Trafalgar Square, yeah.
When they were looking at the memorial of the people that died, I was sure he was going to be there. He was going to be alive.
I like that he was.
I thought it might happen, but
I thought it would cheapen it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm glad they did the way they did.
And I'm not that surprised, and I'll tell you for why. The reason is because they're going to do a time jump. They're jumping her forward to the present day with Batman, and so he would have either been a very old man or dead anyway.
Yeah.
And so what was the point in keeping his character around? Much better to have him have this moment of sacrifice and make him worth something.
Yeah.
You know,
it's also for her character development as well. The fact that she needs to experience these things to evolve. So
exactly.
Okay, so supporting characters.
Going back to supporting characters, I thought they were really good, very funny.
Yeah.
But useful. They weren't just like superfluous.
The poor guy who couldn't shoot.
Oh, I know. And that was so sweet when he's like, "Oh, maybe I should just stay here," and she's like, "Oh, who will sing for us?"
But that is also very realistic because there are so many people with shell shock from World War One, and I feel that they were quite good to address that in the film.
Yeah, and even there was another little thing that they threw in there with the supporting character. I can't remember which character it was, but which one was he?
There was
the shorter one.
Arabic guy.
Yeah, him. Yep. He says that he wanted to be an actor,
but it was the
wrong colour.
Yeah,
and it's just a little throwaway. But just, I liked that they put in little details like that.
I feel like
his name was Samir, apparently, for reference.
Each character had their own little thing. Like, there was Samir, who obviously had the issues with race. There was the sharpshooter... Charlie, who had issues with shell shock. There was the chief, who...
played
that
it
was
off
his name,
like he was taking advantage, but then wouldn't take
I knew that
money.
one.
Hey.
Yeah, that was quite easy to remember.
He was there... sort of to show Diana that just because you are fighting against someone doesn't mean that you're their enemy, because he was saying his people wiped out by his people, like pointing to Steve. But then they're still working together and they're still friends. So I think that goes to show Diana that, there's even if you have wars against each other, there's still humanity.
Yeah.
And
Etta.
I loved Etta.
She was like a British tolerable Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
Tolerable. Melissa McCarthy's way more than tolerable.
She can be. She can also
depends
be.
on the role, depends on the film. But let's not get started on that.
She can also be Tammy.
Etta was
just
hilarious.
I was really worried from the trailers that she was going to be goofy. From the one little bit they showed in the trailer.
I did not see the trailer at all. There was one bit
where Wonder Woman is trying on all the dresses. She's like, oh, how do people fight in it? Oh, our ladies don't fight. I do enjoy a bit of fisticuffs when the occasion calls for it. Yeah. And taken out of context like that in the overall seriousness of the rest of the trailer did kind of make me worried that they were going to bring in this goofy little sidekick character.
Seemed like she might be a Jake Johnson.
Yeah, but she came in, she was fantastic.
She was.
All through it. I loved the bit where she said, oh, glasses, suddenly she's not the most attractive woman ever. It's like, it's kind of...
very true.
It's a funny line, it's very true, and it also is a nod to like the whole Superman thing, where he just puts on his glasses, suddenly he's not Superman.
It's also amazing to see her trying on outfits and just taking her clothes off in the middle of the...
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was hilarious. So yeah, because I'm sure, like, we're ogling Chris Pine, I'm sure you had, like, trouble looking at Gal Gadot.
I mean, confess I did not have any
hideous,
trouble.
I'm sure.
She's incredibly attractive.
She is.
But she plays the role so well, so it's not just like they hired her for her looks. Yeah. I know there was a lot of problems people were having when she was initially cast, because Amazonians are supposed to be sort of these big, beefy women, and she's quite petite.
Put on a lot of muscle.
Yeah, she did.
I think she played the role great.
Speaking of a lot of muscle, I have to say, Professor Lupin.
Yeah.
Was that CGI'd?
There's no way that was his body.
No.
Sorry. In a million billion years.
Sir Patrick, by the way.
Not, but he was...
he was Lupin, but he wasn't playing Lupin. He
was the God of War.
I know that everything is a cinematic universe.
He was Ares. Right? Ares?
Yeah.
The God of War. But when he actually turned into the god, it was his face behind the mask thing, at least most of the time, but that was definitely not his body. No. There's no way he put on that much muscle for that little bit.
I kind of feel it took away a little bit at the ending, the CGI amount, because you are having two gods face off against each other. It's going to be a very CGI fight. It's been done a lot so far, and it's very much two people hitting each other. They go very far, but it does add a lot of personal stuff into it as well, which redeems it a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
Speaking of CGI, I actually thought the CGI was great. The only time I had an issue with this was right at the beginning, when you kept seeing them train and seeing them fight, and it was so. I get it looked cool, but there were so many scenes that were CGI heavy that I didn't think needed to be. I think stunt work would have been better. That it took me out of it so much.
I know. I feel like the CGI was very well done. I just feel like at the end it was very overdone. Like, there's only so many times you can see someone hit someone and they fly 20 feet away. And but after that they kind of bring into it a bit more of a personal fight, because Ares starts saying, look at these people, these are men, they are corrupted, they are evil, you can't ever do anything about it, come join with me and we can make a world a better place. And she's remembering Steve, she's remembering the sacrifice that he's just made, and it really makes it a lot more personal. And so she can see that men are basically good as well. After everything she's seen, with all the people she saved and veiled, with the rest of the team that she was in with Charlie and Chief and everything like that, she can see past all of that.
And apart from Chris Pine, I've done it again! What the hell?
Chris Pine!
I've never done this before tonight.
This is entirely Vicky's fault.
Apart from his character, what was nice is that everybody else lived.
Yeah.
I think the problem with Rogue One is they had some interesting characters, but as they said on CinemaScoop, you might not want to get too attached.
No. Yeah.
So it was nice because I thought those characters were all really interesting in their own way. And the scene that did after the Battle of No Man's Land, when amazing shot when they used the piece of metal, as the shield to sort of hoist her up to attack the sniper.
I was like
that whole aftermath of that, where the town sort of relaxing a bit, and you get just that much more characterization from the supporting characters.
Things
really
like that,
nice.
It focuses on the smaller moments, and it really draws you into these characters and makes you care a lot for them.
But it feels desperate. And that's what I like, that the whole war scenes mixed with those was like, it feels like the stakes are high. It doesn't feel like it's a superhero movie, so who cares because I'm inhuman.
But because you've had those smaller moments, you've been drawn into them, it makes you care about them. Like, it could be a very desperate situation, but if you don't care about those characters, then it means nothing to you. So the fact that you were given these moments, like Charlie playing the piano and them talking, and it just makes you really care whether they live or die.
Yeah.
Because there have been so many films where the movie's been carrying on. It's like, I really
don't care about you. Yeah.
And this is why I think I have such a problem with Superman, because as a character, he's kind of there for the people, and he's very suave. He's almost like James Bond in spandex, and he's such a saviour that he's not relatable as a person. He's not, he's not got a great sense of humour. There's nothing massively identifiable with him. He's just superhuman with one or two weaknesses.
Basically one.
And I think
the thing is, I think it depends on which incarnation of Superman is the one that you're invested in.
Unfortunately, it has to be the new ones because they're putting this into the cinematic universe.
No, I understand that, and I haven't seen Man of Steel or Batman vs Superman, so I have no frame of reference for that. But what I can
You've seen Man of Steel, you watched it with me.
Don't
Clearly it left an impression.
Yeah. See,
I definitely don't remember it.
I've watched Man of Steel, I do not remember. I remember Amy Adams was in it, and that may only be because she was in Batman vs Superman with Man of Steel.
She was, and they also leveled the city at the end, completely destroyed it.
Oh yeah, I remember
fuck
that.
humanity.
I remember that bit.
Completely fuck humanity.
Well, see, at least in the Avengers, when they destroy cities, they get like called out on it. You know what I mean? No, but so okay.
Which, by the way, just as you mentioned.
Avengers?
They call him out on it. I'm just thinking that I think it looks like a really interesting dynamic for Spider-Man that not Keith Sutherland,
Michael Keaton
is collecting weapons from Avengers battles to use. I think that's a really interesting.
That is very cool, but that is completely off topic. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
We shall now from here on refer to Michael Keaton as not Keith Sutherland because that's hilarious.
Yep. That is his new name.
And I've now forgotten what I was talking about. What was I saying? I was talking about the
aftermath of the Avengers battles.
So my version of Superman, the one that because I always liked Superman.
Yeah.
I did like Superman. He was until the whole sort of Marvel resurgence with Iron Man and the Avengers. Superman was my favourite superhero.
Why?
Has been for a long time. And this is why. Because my Superman that I think of as Superman is the Superman from Lois and Clark. Now, that's a very niche thing. It's a TV show. And, it's still about Superman, but it primarily focuses on Clark and his relationship with Lois. And, so he's in that. Superman is funny. He's dorky. He's silly. There's a lot more to him and a lot more human side than you usually get in a Superman film.
That is a TV show, and they have so much more
I know.
To go into that. And I think that's why if I had a TV show to get into every character, they would resonate with me a lot more. But I'm trying to take them only from film value, and that is why they don't resonate with me. Because the films have never done that.
I totally agree with, and that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
And by the way, if they decide to make Superman into a thing and cast Tyler Hoechlin because he's playing Superman in Supergirl, I'm totally cool with that.
They won't though, because the TV series and the cinematic universe are two completely different things. Otherwise, we would get Grant Gustin as the Flash, who we've been invested in for 3 years.
Don't get
And now all
started.
of a sudden they get in Ezra Miller. And I'm supposed to care about that after I've been 3 seasons.
I don't even know if I can see it, I really don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to.
I want to not see it because out of protest, but I don't know if I don't know.
It's not like I'm that much into Grant Gustin and the Flash, but it's something I spent 3 years of my life watching. I'm invested in it. I don't suddenly want a new Flash.
That version of Flash, and also this version of the Flash is definitely not going to be like the appeal of Grant Gustin as the Flash is that he's funny and
I don't think you can make that assumption. You haven't seen anything about it.
No,
he was in Suicide Squad for a bit.
I think you've just kind of revealed the fact that you're Grant Gustin centric kid because you've just said I don't think he's going to be anything like that.
No, because the cinematic universe is nothing like that. This is
the first one. I don't know. I think if Wonder Woman's anything to go by,
hopefully this will be a precedent and they might actually make it into something that's viewable.
I hope that they take this movie. I mean, it's hard to ignore how successful it's been and take some of those notes.
They can pinpoint the why.
And do you know what the best thing about this movie is that despite the World War One setting, it was kind of light-hearted.
Yeah.
It wasn't so heavy.
Yeah.
I think the reason for that was it had its heavy moments, but unlike the other films, it didn't hammer its point into your head. It showed it, and it showed the characters dealing with it, but it didn't carry on with that message.
Beat you over the head with it.
It didn't beat you over the head with it, and it made you see it through Diana's eyes. And even the points where she kind of looks like she's losing hope, she still has that sort of underlying belief that mankind is good and she can defeat Ares and she can win.
Yeah,
and you never lose that.
It's also nice that they found a colourist to work the movie that isn't just a fan of blue and grey.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting a bit fed up with the watered down
I've
look
got to laugh.
of these movies.
The first bit in CinemaScoop, the amount of colour and light and everything that was in there was just so refreshing. It was like being just dipped in this ice cold pool of water after being really hot after a while. You know, that's
it was refreshing. Yeah, I know what you mean.
And then even through the film, okay, you're not going to have bright saturated colours during World War One, but even her outfit was quite colourful. Yeah. It had colourful moments. It had brightness in it. It wasn't dull
that blue
and
dress that she stole, which by the way I thought was hilarious when she just ripped it off and she was like, I don't need that anymore.
I just the fact that she was sizing her up next to
her. Next to her, like,
that was fantastic.
Okay, so I want to talk about the scene. The only scene worth talking about. In No Man's Land, when she decides that she's going to cross the front line by herself.
Right, I thought at first, I'm so glad they didn't do this, but they set it up that they could have done it. It would have been cheesy and overdone and I would have hated it, but they set it up like, this is no man's land, it means no man can cross it, and they could have had her just like turn and say, I am no man.
Like I thought that was going to happen.
Like the Eowyn from Lord of the Rings, and they could have done it and it would have taken away from it.
But that's what this movie did, it didn't do that.
It didn't do that, instead it says, I can do it, and it's not like I'm a woman so I can do it, it's I am me so I can do it.
But she doesn't do it because she's thinking I'm powerful, I have something to prove. She's doing it because she wants to help.
She has to help the people. She's
I don't care.
A woman with a child, and I think the fact she has a child with her is quite resonant because
powerful,
she has never seen a baby before. She was the only baby on CinemaScoop, and it's like when she sees the baby in the street, she's like, "Oh, a baby!" It's like, no, you can't hold the baby.
That was amazing when she was telling Chris Pine the boat that she was sculpted out of clay.
Yeah,
he's like, all right,
that's interesting.
But I mean, she could have taken a page out of Superman's book and just gone straight after
Ares.
That's the guy. And just fuck humanity, level cities, do whatever she did. But she didn't. She was compassionate.
She's seen that this whole village of Veld needs help and she goes to do it. And I was so thrilled both times when I saw that thing. Like the first time I saw it, it was the first time you see Wonder Woman with the tiara and her hair down in the outfit, because all the other times she's had her outfit covered up. And she goes into the battlefield and like everything is Wonder Woman. And Wonder Woman.
Also not quite as effective as her coming out of that store in those clothes with a sword and a shield.
Yeah, that's hilarious. But no, it's the first time she comes out and she is fully Wonder Woman. She's not Diana Prince, she's not Diana of CinemaScoop, she is Wonder Woman. And
do they refer to her as Wonder Woman?
Absolutely not, which they shouldn't do.
No, I like that.
No.
But that is the characterisation. You can, when you see her in that costume with her tiara, whatever else she is Wonder Woman. And she goes out and she kicks ass and she is so powerful and driven across that battlefield. And the first time I saw that...
Take a breath.
She's very excited, people. She's very excited.
Stop and have some cider.
I drank it all.
Crap.
But it was so thrilling and it was just so powerful to see. And it really resonated with me, the fact that I just absolutely loved it. And the second time I saw it, I think I'm very emotional today, but it actually made me well up a bit. I was like, go!
It was an awesome scene. It was
definitely the best scene.
And the whole fight in Veld afterwards was just fantastic. You see them all come together and work together.
Yeah.
And
the fact that those men who are typically in a situation like this would be the ones that were in charge and control and whatever, that they were willing to defer to her and just basically be something for her to use as a springboard.
Yeah, but you really feel the magnitude of the entire thing, and it really makes you like connect with the characters, and it's not something I felt with a lot of superheroes. Even the Marvel ones, which I love all of them, but I don't ever connect with their mission as much as I do with that.
So do we know where they're going with Wonder Woman now? In the
well, neither of you two have watched Batman vs Superman, so
I have.
Oh, have you?
I have.
Oh, well, I say I have. I've watched half.
Okay. Have you seen
see the
her
Wonder Woman
in
bit?
that?
No, but I have watched. I've watched it on YouTube. I've cheated.
Okay, so they set up her being in the Justice League, and throughout the film, she's like trying to keep her identity sort of hidden. She's going after that picture, which is sort of a plot point in Wonder Woman, because Batman finds it for her and gives it to her, which sparks this whole flashback of the story. And so that is what she's trying to get during Batman vs Superman. This is how Batman finds her, because I think Lex Luthor had it.
Yeah.
So he goes to try and find it, and then Superman dies, and I think at his funeral she's sort of...
spoiler alert, we said.
We called spoiler alert half an hour ago.
For me, I haven't seen it.
It's been years, it's not my
You've
fault.
had your chance. You went to see Wonder Woman after the original 2. If you cared enough, that's on you, my friend.
But anyway. So, and at his funeral, she kind of realises, okay, it's time for me to be Wonder Woman again. And so this is what they're going to set up for the Justice League. And she'll be in it, and she kind of gotten over her grief of losing Steve and realising that humanity can be a piece of crap.
It only took 70 years.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Justice League, I thought the new DC logo at the beginning was quite cool.
That was
different
cool.
characters.
That was very cool.
I enjoyed that.
Oh, I had one thing to say about the ending, the
Okay.
very ending, which is I was actually talking to Vicky about this in the car, and saying that I had just had questions about her aging process, because I imagine now she's a god, so she's immortal, right? So that's why she looks the same now as she did in, World War One. But my question is, then when did she stop aging? Because obviously she was a child and she did grow to be an adult. So was it that she was still growing until she fought Ares, and then when she defeated him, she sort of became a god way?
This is
like
a world.
Hercules,
This is a world
or...
with Superman.
I'm just curious.
I wouldn't overthink it.
I'm not like talking about realism here. I'm talking about whether or not there's something in the canon, whether there's something that explains that within the comic books or the original, series or whatever.
I want to know why.
I'm just curious.
Why Sir Patrick didn't turn into a werewolf?
Well,
because he wasn't
Animagus.
He's
not Remus Lupin.
Because Dan, it was
despite
not
the
full
fact
moon.
that he looks like him.
Duh.
Obviously. What was I thinking?
That's the only reason.
Duh.
All right, so let's do our recap. So
ratings.
Marks out of 5.
I thought we were doing out of 10. We did 10 last week.
No, we did 5 last week.
Because mine was 2.5 and his was 3, and
yeah,
I don't think.
Oh, I was bad out of 10.
What did you say?
I said 3.
3 out of 10. Oh my god, that's even worse. What would you have said out of 5 then? Like 2.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Oh, okay.
To be fair, even 3 out of 10, I think is pretty accurate for the mummy.
No.
Well, for Wonder Woman, for this week, out of 5.
Okay, personally, 5 out of 5.
5. Amy?
Yeah, 5. I got to give it a 5. It was amazing. There's nothing bad to say about it, really, is there?
I have a couple of points, but they didn't take away from the film for me.
Nothing significant enough that I would be... Like, if I wasn't going to be thinking in depth about it, I would just come away going, that was really great.
My answer is a 5 for the movie, but I'm going to say... My final score is going to be 4.5, and that's purely because this is a great movie, but it is a chapter of something larger. So I feel like if they're gonna use this precedent going forward and keep churning out movies like this, great. But because it's a part of something that I'm actually at this point,
not invested
beside this one movie, don't really care about.
Yeah.
I would say 4.5.
Did we get to do our little roundup of points? Because I've got a couple of quick bullet points about why.
Yeah, let's do that quickly.
Okay, I feel like it was a fresh origin story. Obviously it's something to do with the DC universe that isn't to do with Batman.
Did you say origin story?
I tried not to.
Orangutan story.
No, orangutan story is War of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. It was a fresh origin story. It wasn't anything to do with Batman or Superman. The pacing of the film was very good. You didn't feel like anything dragged. I felt like Batman vs Superman really dragged. It was a very cohesive storytelling. Again, with Batman vs Superman, the story made a lot more sense when you watch the extended version. So that's another 30 minutes you have to watch for the story to make sense. Oh. And this is a shorter film.
Which they should never do for a movie. You
not.
shouldn't have to offer a director's cut to make the movie make this. It's kind of like Alien 3.
Yeah. Most of the characters are very well rounded out. You never feel like anyone's just there for the sake of it. Apart from the villains, it's kind of when you do the whole bait and switch with the villains thing, we got very well rounded out characters with the initial 2 villains, the Doctor and the Sergeant, who was a real person. But I feel Lundorf, yeah.
What do you mean he was a real person?
Apparently he was real, like that.
Based on. Okay. I was like, yes, Vicky, he was a person.
In World War One, he was a real.
But Sir Patrick, I feel because they were doing the bait and switch, they never really gave him a lot apart from right at the end. So
I suspected him from very early on.
Yeah. I knew
And
that
not that he was necessarily Aries, just that he was not all he was seen to be.
I honestly, maybe I'm just stupid, but I didn't make that
I knew he
connection.
wasn't good.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I was slightly suspicious when he offered to help them.
Yeah.
But I was kind of
then
hoping
he
that
did
was
help them,
just...
so-
He did, but I was kind of hoping that was just his endearing character. But
You just wanted him to be Lupin.
I did.
I felt that I connected with all of the characters, which is something quite rare in a film, to connect with all of the characters. But I cared about them all.
Superhero movie.
I thought that the colour used in it actually told the story quite well, because you go from the very colourful Paradise Island of Themyscira, and it's all bright and colourful, and then when she wakes up, she's in dull, murky London, and like, welcome to the real world, not so bright and colourful anymore.
Oh, I love
Which
that
was
bit where she was like, it's terrible. And he's like, yeah, it's not for everyone.
And by the way, speaking of the colour changes, I thought that was amazing, the scene with the Germans on the boat when they were crossing the barrier.
That was
Yes,
so
that
well
was
done.
really cool. I'd forgotten about that.
So yeah, it was Patty Jenkins using colour very well to tell the story, which is not something a lot of films do these days.
No.
And I don't know
They
why I
use
was
that.
surprised. I didn't know who directed it. I was surprised it was a female director, and then not so surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were like, oh, it's a female director. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I honestly didn't care. I think
No.
it was just well made.
No.
Yeah.
But I think it's significant that it was a female director,
Yeah.
that they chose a female
But
director.
well, speaking of this,
They
while
did
we're
that
on
on
this subject,
purpose.
I just quickly want to talk about the fact that there were these proposed female-only screenings for the film.
That was at one place.
Was it one? It was one place.
One
I think it's
theatre
been
decided
blown
to
way
do
out
it,
of proportion.
It has.
and it exploded.
I do understand your objections to it. I think it was a good publicity stunt in theory.
Yeah.
Like, I understand why they thought it would be a good idea. They were trying to promote the female aspect of it, and
Yeah.
she's a female
But
superhero.
in doing that, you're degrading.
Yeah, you're alienating 50% of your
Men.
audience.
You're trying to make a point to stand up and say, women should be equal, so men can't come. It's really stupid.
Exactly. It's like what Vicky was saying earlier. One of the best things about this movie is that it empowers women without taking power from the men. It doesn't
And
make them less than to
I
make
think
her
them
feel
doing that
powerful.
kind of cancel out the message that the film projects. It's basically saying that women are equal because the film is telling the story about a powerful woman, but she doesn't use any of the men. She doesn't put any of them down. Like Chris Pine still has a fantastic role. He still has a very pivotal role, but at no moment is Wonder Woman's success at the detriment to any of the male characters, as it should be.
Yeah.
As it should be with any of the reversal, which I'm kind of hoping is coming into films a bit more.
So,
But I feel like doing a women's only version of it is basically a bit misandry, and that's not the point of feminism. Feminism is equality. Misandry is saying that women are better than men, and misogyny is saying that men are better than women. You don't want either of those. You just want everyone equal. Everyone can go see a movie. It's a fun movie about Wonder Woman. Just come on.
so there
Everyone
is
can.
Wonder
Agreed.
Woman. It was
Wonder
as
Woman,
good as
we loved
we
it.
heard, and
Yes.
so see where it goes.
I want to go get a tiara now. I think I need Wonder Woman's tiara.
You need. Okay.
I felt
think it would
empowered
suit
after I
you.
watched it for the
I
first
think it would
time.
suit you.
I was able, we had a new carpet fitted, I was able to move all of the furniture back in entirely by myself, and I credit that to that movie.
It gave you the
Doesn't- it
gave you the
power.
Doesn't Paige have a?
She has a Wonder Woman costume, and
Yeah,
it does have.
our-
It does have a
Our
tiara.
5-year-old has a Wonder Woman costume.
Yes,
Okay.
she had that for Superhero Day.
I feel I've earned it.
I think you do.
Indeed.
All right, so let's move on to our weekly
Trivia.
We still haven't come up with a name for this game. We should at some point.
All right, we'll work on that for next week. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you
Well,
what. Why
we'll
don't we?
probably trivia.
This is a new podcast, so I don't know how many listeners we're going to get. But if we get any, and anybody wants
Anyone's
to
following us.
suggest a name for our weekly trivia section, which is basically just 10 questions each week based on or around the topic of the film that we're seeing. So any suggestions, feel free to tweet us or comment, and we'll hopefully have one soon. Maybe not by next week, but hopefully soon.
We'll see. We will get a name for it.
Right, so
But
last
for
week
now-
I did the questions for the mummy, and you and Vicky were playing.
Yeah.
The current
week-
score stands at Amy 5 points, Vicky 4.
Right. So this week I did the trivia questions. So what I've done is to make it a little more broad, because I know neither of you knows particularly a lot about Wonder Woman specifically, except what was in this film, and I hadn't seen it yet when I read the questions, which made it a bit harder. I did general superhero. Okay. So mostly DC, but there's a little bit of other stuff in there too.
All right.
It's nothing. I mean, it's me. I don't know DC that well, so it's not that. Yeah, you got to come up with your buzzers. What's you going to buzzer this week? Yes, Vicky's going to stick with ding. Yeah. And Dan, you got to pick yours this week. What are you going to be?
Hiya!
Oh, can you do Sarah Millican's rock?
I don't think you can make that noise, can you? No, we'll stick with hiya.
I'm going to get a sound bite of that and have that as my buzzer from now on.
Very good. Okay, right, are we ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Right. Number 1. Who plays Wonder Woman in the 2017 movie?
Gal Gadot.
Very good. Number 2. What is the name of Batman's motorcycle in The Dark Knight?
The Batcycle.
No.
Oh.
Motorcycle.
Yes.
Oh, I thought that was your answer.
It's called a motorcycle. I mean, I can take that as your answer, but it's something like that.
Wait,
Clive.
Hiya! I don't know. I'm going to guess Batmobile.
That might have been better. No, apparently it was referred to as the Batpod.
I did not know this. All right.
Okay, so
I'm going to suck this week.
Question 3. Agent Coulson was a fan of a certain type of merchandise associated with a certain member of the Avengers. What merchandise?
I said Bing first when she was reading the question.
Did you?
She did.
Yeah.
Long ago.
It was the trading cards of Captain America.
It's not fair because hiya takes longer to say than
Well, you
Bing.
picked it, shouldn't you?
I'll give you this moment to change it.
I'm going to stick with my hiya as a principle.
All right, we'll just get really, really into it. What? Question 4. What is Superman's Kryptonian name?
Hiya!
Kal-El.
Kal-El.
Also,
Kal-El is correct.
John Travolta named his son.
Did he? Poor child. Poor child, whoever he is.
No, Nicolas Cage named his son Kal-El.
That's just bad.
Yes.
That's real?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh dear. Okay. Right, this one, I don't know if either of you are going to know the answer to, but I found it hilarious. Question 5.
It's not really how these questions are supposed to work.
Whatever amuses Amy the most.
Right.
That's essentially what I'm going with here.
Okay.
Question 5. Which Batman film features the infamous nipple suit?
Bing!
Hiya!
Batman and Robin.
Yes.
That was with George Clooney, right?
It is with George Clooney, who apparently did not know there was going to be rubber nipples on
Do you
his
see
suit.
he apologised for his rubber nipples?
Yeah. Okay, question 6. A human that serves vampires in order to become one in Blade is called a...
I don't know that. I've never watched Blade.
Oh man, I haven't watched Blade in years.
Might be something I know.
A human that serves...
That serves vampires in order to become one.
Oh...
Might be something that we've
it's
heard
a
of.
Fairly
in
well
popular
used
culture.
term, so
I do not remember this.
give it a shot.
Oh, I used to watch those films so much.
Is it a generic term?
It's fairly well used, but not. I've not heard it used in conjunction with this before. More to do with witches.
Oh, Bing familiar.
Yes.
Yay!
I did know this.
I thought
damn
you
it!
know
I
that
suck
one.
this week.
You are doing really badly. I'm sorry,
I know.
babe. Okay, this one is multiple choice because I didn't think either of you would actually know the answer.
Okay.
Question 7. What year was DC founded? 1934, 1941 or 1948?
Hiya! 41.
No.
30. The first one.
34.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you.
Question 8.
I'm so done with
Who
this.
played Wonder Woman in the 1975 TV
Hiya!
series? That was
Linda
really
Carter.
good time. Very good,
I
Dan.
told you that earlier. You
Dan
got it
for the
wrong.
point.
I know.
You got her name wrong once already today.
I thought it was Linda Hamilton. I don't know who that is.
Who is Linda Hamilton?
The Exorcist, wasn't it? The little girl.
Yes, that's right.
Kind of similar.
Absolutely.
Not at all. Okay. Question 9. Who was the director on Wonder Woman 2017?
Patty Jenkins. Who did you say it was earlier?
Patti Smith. I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know where I was going with that. Question number 10 and the last one is name 2 of Wonder Woman's weapons.
Hiya!
Shall I at least let him have a shot at it because you've already
Go
looked
on
in.
then.
Go on.
Shield and Lasso of Truth.
Yes.
And does the shield have a particular name that you're looking for or not?
No, just shield
Yay!
and sword. Boomerang tiara.
Oh, that
which
was
she
kind.
didn't use in
That
this.
was kind of a
didn't,
tie,
no.
but
And
screw you. I'm
indestructible
taking
bracelets.
2 points because that's all I got.
Well, you need them. Take them.
Oh,
You take all the points you need.
So Vicky got 7 points.
that's
because
all you need.
there was one that neither of you got right.
What was
that
that?
one?
You got 7.
Yeah,
No,
what's the one at 9?
Neither of you got the motorcycle name right.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still going with Batmobile.
Batmobile.
All right, so that brings
Hilarious.
the scores up to Amy 5, Vicky 11, and myself a measly 2.
I'm the only one who's
Amazing
played
too.
twice, though, so I will be...
In the lead
More
until
like-
next week at
You,
least.
you just wait
So
till
next week is going to be your turn. You're going to have a much harder time coming up with trivia questions for the film for next week, I would think. You may have to go broad on this.
Well, if we are doing Baby Driver next week, I can go Edgar Wright, which can be like Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz and At World's
Oh,
End.
okay. Yeah. That's an idea.
And I already have a question.
I love Hot Fuzz. I don't get
I know you
the
don't
hype
like Shaun
around
of the
Shaun of the Dead. It's okay.
Yeah.
I've tried to watch one of
I know,
them.
I
and
haven't
just
seen
can't.
that one, no.
Yeah, I wasn't enthralled.
You just go with baby theme stuff.
Baby
It's not
themed.
much in there.
That
I
we would
think
know.
something up.
That would we
Yeah.
would know, you know?
I would
We'd
think
be
of something.
on point with that.
It will be good.
Okay,
Um,
great. So that's the plan,
Yeah.
is next week, Baby Driver.
Yes.
I'm very excited. This is something I've heard absolutely nothing about until I've started to see the trailers
Yeah.
at the beginning of films that I've went to see.
I don't feel like they give very much information. Like,
No.
obviously the basic idea is that he's a young guy who does getaway driving, and he has this soundtrack that he plays to concentrate,
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. But
What I have heard, I think someone was on the One Show or some sort of talk show the other day, and they were saying that the music was set up first, and they would play the music over the scene, so you would get into the rhythm of it. And there are some scenes where you can really see them acting towards the music.
yeah,
So I'm really interested to see how that works
I
out.
get the sense that the soundtrack is going to be very significant
Yeah.
for this film. So I'm interested to see how that plays out.
Plus Kevin Spacey.
Yep.
Yes,
Always
Kevin
the
Spacey
winner.
as a bad guy, always
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And Ansel, is it Ansel
Elgort.
Elgort? Yeah. I saw him on James Corden this week, and man, can he sing? Who knew,
I did
right?
not know that.
Yeah, he did.
It's amazing how
he
many
did one of the
actors come out of the
riff-offs.
woodwork that have amazing voices.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie Foxx was doing one of those riff-offs with James Corden, and he nipped in at the end and sang a song, and it was really good. I was
Oh,
genuinely
awesome.
shocked. So
Looking forward to this then.
me too.
So
That should be
next
good.
week, hopefully. Yay.
Next week,
Great.
Baby Driver. And
We'll see you then, I guess.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
and make sure to give us a like and follow us
And subscribe.
and subscribe.
Yep.
Lovely. Thanks for
Reviews.
listening.
What?
Reviews. That's how you get higher on iTunes. Please leave a review.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the way it was.
That's the way
The Cooking Chronicles.
And that's the way.
I
like
like
it.
it. Uh-huh.
Okay, we went weird again.